of Mind Sports Podcast, presented by the UnoFam and the Overs Club, your best bet. Now here's your hosts, Mark and Marley. Peace of Mind Sports Podcast coming to you live for NFL Wildcard Weekend 2024. We are your hosts, Mark and Marley. What's up, brother?
Let's go, baby. Playoff weekend started off a little brutal, but we're here.
Yeah, how are you feeling today?
I'm a little pissed off, a little depressed, a lot of sad. And, once again, disappointed 5 years in a row now or whatever it is.
We'll get to
as Tomlin would say, we're just not up to snuff once again in the playoffs.
We'll get to we'll get to the Steelers game in a minute, but I just want to say like a tale of pretty much two seasons for the Steelers. Starting hot, first week of December, 10-3, sitting in the driver's seat, a chance to control their destiny, to possibly win a division, get the second or third seed, most likely the third seed. End up getting the 6th seed and having to go on the road in Baltimore, who's one of the hottest teams in the NFL. So,
yeah,
tough pickings.
Didn't go well for us.
Pun intended. Tough pickings.
Yeah, right. Literally costing.
Little drum roll for the program. We officially have made the switch to YouTube. Just a little background story for those of you that are tuning in for the first time. So I see some regulars coming in. Smitty, what's happening? How are you today, sir? We started out around 2019, around the playoffs.
This is actually the last Cleveland Brown playoff win.
Yeah, it was after we actually went live after the game. It was Browns versus Steelers. And little did we know that we would continue to make this a show every week. And it's been a lot of fun the past 4 or 5 seasons. This is our 4th full NFL season that we have done. And it was a success. It was great. We had to take a couple weeks off. We don't like to stream around, if there's a holiday, we take holidays off. That's what we do. But we do our best to stream every Sunday around the same time, around that 9:30, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock time frame. So we would appreciate it if you want to subscribe to our channel, Peace of Mind Sports Podcast at YouTube. We will go live just about every Sunday. We talk about all the games, make predictions, give some spicy hot takes. Marley over here, he's a little bit of a firecracker on the microphone, but we absolutely love his energy and dynamic. I kind of carry the show in an aspect of kind of keeping everybody in line, but we all come together. We have a third as well, Max. He comes in from time to time. He helped build this show. You'll see him around once in a while. We talk college ball. We talk NFL. We'll dive in a little bit other sports, but football is our bread and butter, and we are football guys, and this is what we do. And then we also make sports bets and predictions on that aspect as well. So welcome to the show, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. And away we go, Marley. So it's the wildcard playoffs. We discussed our power rankings for the playoff teams. We don't normally, we steered away from this several years ago from doing power rankings weekly on the show because it just kind of got all right, it's a week-to-week game. And a lot of the NFL experts that put out their power rankings weekly, they're either one, a given, or two, they're just feeding the media who they want to be at the top of the list. So we kind of made our own, and I'm just gonna go through them real quick, and we'll discuss them as we go. All right. So starting with the bottom 4, Marley, you had the Broncos, then the Texans, then the Commanders, then the Bucks. So kind of grouping these teams together.
Mm-hmm.
You put the Broncos last, and I just wanted to pick your brain on it. Really, the bottom 2. So the Texans and the Broncos. I was right there with you. I had the Texans and then the Chargers. So kind of grouping these teams together. What was your mindset when you're like, okay, these are going to be the worst quote unquote teams in the playoffs.
Well, you got two rookie quarterbacks in the Commanders and the Broncos. And don't get me wrong, they got good defense, but at the end of the day, if your quarterback can't play, you're not going to win very much. You're not going to score very much, so you're kind of screwed.
Wow.
And that's really what it was. Like the quarterbacks are just going to come into the NFL playoffs and get, maybe get a little rattled. Like I know Bo Nix and Jaden Daniels have been playing, pretty damn well during the regular season, but it's a little bit different game when it's one and done and you're going against guys that have been in the league for years. And that's the kicker. These guys aren't going up against, other rookie quarterbacks. Bo Nix got to play against Josh Allen and the Bills today. Good luck. Josh Allen can put up 45 points easily on you just on his own accord. I don't know. I think Bo Nix might have a problem keeping up with that today. Like I know the Bronco defense is, pretty stout, but Josh Allen, if he puts it in his mind, he can really start moving and getting them guys going. And it's going to be a tough showing today. And plus, they got to go into Buffalo. If they're playing in Mile High, I might actually give the Broncos a little bit of a shot of like maybe winning by a real close game. But going into Buffalo in that hostile environment, good luck.
So I'm kind of right there with you. I just think with the Broncos, I know I was a little bit higher on them than you guys this season. That's what it comes down to. Like a rookie quarterback. I know Sean Payton's a good coach. He rebounded after last year, kind of got this team together with like kind of like a fresh start. Some guys playing well. Their defense is, really good. But I just think the Bills are just a far superior team. We'll get to that game a little bit. But I had the Texans last because I felt that they were the team that was coming into the playoffs besides, I don't mean to pick on the Steelers, but one of the teams that was kind of fumbling, stumbling down the stretch. They did just enough to get into the playoffs. They were in kind of a weaker division. We know their defense really showed up in the game. The offense kind of played well too, so I was kind of impressed by that against the Chargers. But that's also why I put the Chargers at 13, because this was the first season since we've started the show, and everybody knows this on the show. Eric was kind of, our friend of show, Eric, was in my DMs yesterday saying Justin Herbert is starting to look like what you've always said Justin Herbert looked like. And that's kind of where I was at. I was kind of high on, on Harbaugh. I was kind of glad that they made the playoffs. Like, okay, like I don't really care too much about the Chargers, but like I was kind of high on them potentially sneaking into that 5th, 6th, 7th seed as a wild card team because we all know they weren't catching the Chiefs. At the end of the day, the Chargers with Justin Herbert, I felt are just not ready to take that next step yet. So that's why I kind of had them in that tier as well. So moving on. So you have Bucks at 11. So these are kind of like the middle of the road teams in the playoffs. Teams that can either have success or teams that could fall off in the first round. So next group, you have the Chargers, Steelers, Rams, Vikings, Lions.
Mm-hmm. They're just not like, you got solid quarterbacks in all of those teams.
Yeah.
But you don't have a lot of veteran presence. You don't have a lot of playoff presence. I know the Rams do. The Lions, or the Vikings, I don't know. Like the Vikings scare me now. Like they were playing great. Sam
Don't
Darnold.
they? Yeah, they do too.
Off.
Yep.
He is not. The Lions absolutely ate him up in the last week of the season to get the division in the first round bye. And they just gave everybody the playbook on how to beat them now. So it's like, can they make enough plays on defense to overset that? Maybe, but I don't think so. Because they're going up against some real heavy hitters too. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, that was also how we were kind of picking each other's brains on this too. Like, we're like, all right, who are the Vikings better than? And going into the playoffs, we think that they would be better than the Rams, Steelers, Chargers, Bucks, Commanders, Texans, Broncos. So that's what it kind of came down to. All right, who's better than the Vikings? We saw that the Lions proved that point so far that they were probably going to be better than the Vikings. So you had the Vikings at 6. So I kind of like how you were at there. I had Rams, Bucks, Vikings, Packers, Commanders. I put the Commanders at 6 because I know being a rookie quarterback in Jaden Daniels, he was going to have a tough go, playing Baker Mayfield this week. I just think going into the playoffs, the Commanders are like their fan base and their organization really came up from pretty much nothing over the years with Dan Snyder being their owner. So I just felt like the Commanders are like kind of like that team that's like going to be like carrying a lot of momentum going into this playoffs, and I think they can get a game today, but we'll get to our picks in a little bit. So that's kind of where I put the Commanders. Like they could be anywhere from 6 to 10 on my list, but I just put them in that group of like, all right, I think they're ready to be here. So we'll wait and see what happens with that team. So, pretty much our top teams are kind of similar, just a little bit different order. You had the Ravens 1. There's really no wrong answers here. Like I think the Ravens are one of the best, if not the best team in going into the playoffs right now. I put the Chiefs at 1 just because until the Chiefs get beat, they're just going to be number 1 for me, honestly. And the Bills and Chiefs right there, like you said. I have Bills and Ravens kind of right there too. So, excuse me, I have the phlegm out. All right, very good. Now, moving on, Marley, we're going to give out our NFL awards for the season. Yes, we'll start there. Coach of the Year. Now, Marley, I know you were making a case over the past several weeks. The playoff game does not have anything to do with this. This is based off the NFL regular season, which is why I wanted to do them today rather than at the end of the season. You were making a case for Mike Tomlin. Now, I want you to go ahead and explain why there was a chance for him to potentially be up there with them. Go ahead.
There's no other, like, another winning season. Yes, we made the playoffs and lost again. But he had 2 quarterbacks he had to work through. His starter was hurt, but he put Fields in. We still went, 4-1? Yep. Russ only lost 1 game up until December, and then we just went on a slide. But, I mean, that's a pretty, he's just a candidate. Does he get it? Absolutely not. If anybody would get it, I would say it's either going to be a toss between the Vikings coach and Jim Harbaugh because of what he did with the Chargers.
Ooh.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, they need to give it to coaches that really do something when they come into their team. And Harbaugh did it. He turned that team around completely. They went from a dismal, 5-and-something season to, double-digit wins and making the playoffs in 1 season. Right. He coached them up. Yeah, did they win yesterday? Absolutely not. That game, honestly, it looked like it was going to go the Chargers' way until somehow, some type way, the Texans just turned a switch on, and that was it after that. Like, they were just like, yeah, no, we're not going to lose. 1 wild pass by T.J. Stroud just sparked a little spark in that team, and that was it.
Yep.
But, yeah, I don't know. I would say, honestly, like, I'd give it to Jim Harbaugh just because of the turnaround that he did in that team. And the Vikings coaches, they're probably 1A, 1B because, he had Sam Darnold, which no one thought that they were going to do what they did with him, going out and going, 14-1 for the longest time or whatever it was. And
yeah, that's going to be mine. Kevin O'Connell. He that team was dead and buried. They drafted J.J. McCarthy. He was going to start. Sam Darnold was kind of waiting in the wings. Their over-under was like 7.5 games. It ended up going down to 5.5 after J.J. McCarthy went out. Everybody counted them out, and then they just turned on a switch. So that's why I can make a case for Kevin O'Connell. And that's just kind of where I'm at with Coach of the Years. Like, teams that, for 1, overcame adversity, and 2, just did a complete turnaround. And I think that coach kind of fits the model of what we're talking about with Coach of the Year. So I give it to him. Yeah, Jim Harbaugh, kind of a close, like a 1A, 1B kind of thing for me as well.
Yeah.
Offensive Player of the Year.
Oh, it's got to go to Jamar Chase, dude. Sorry, Triple Crown receiver.
Yeah, man.
That took a lot out of him. Like, I get it. Joe Burrow got to get him the ball, but a lot of that is him after the catch. Like, literally just him out there just making plays, getting open. I would say Jamar Chase. Saquon Barkley, 1A, 1B.
So, according to Vegas Insider, this is actually, I could do, FanDuel. Saquon Barkley is minus 9,000 to win Offensive Player of the Year. He was going to be my pick. I'm going to go ahead and pick Jamar Chase as well. Like, you just said it. Like, there's no other player in the NFL that kind of did what he did. Yeah, Barkley had a chance to break the rushing record. He probably would have done it if he was able to play. And we know pretty much what the Charger or what the Eagles would be without Saquon Barkley this year. They've been kind of like a mid team besides him. I know Hurts has been kind of up and down, and AJ Brown's been getting better towards the end of the year after he came out and pretty much called his quarterback out. But the Eagles were still finding ways to win. That's because of Saquon Barkley. Now, literally, Jamar Chase was just doing everything.
Yeah. And now, like, on that whole rushing record thing, yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
But at the same instance, can we do the cutoff in the games that they actually did it in? Instead of because now we have what, 1 or 2 extra games this season?
Yeah.
Than what they did it in. So yeah, if you did it in the 15 games that he did it in, then you broke his rushing record. If you played 16, 17 games and then you did it, you kind of did, but you kind of didn't.
Right.
You set a new 18 game or 17 game single season rushing record. You didn't set a whatever the fuck.
16.
You know what I mean? You didn't beat him. You didn't beat him. You had extra time, buddy. Extra time. You give him them 2 other games or one extra game, you're probably never touching that record the way he was playing that year.
Right. Yeah, that's a good case. This one's gonna really be controversial for this one. So, defensive player of the year.
Oh.
Pat Surtain is the favorite. Minus 550 on FanDuel.
You know what? I'm gonna go with the heart on this one, and I know I'm gonna be the only vote that this man gets. I'm sorry, but being 35 years old, playing on the interior, and coming up with the season this man has had after being told that he ain't got it, Cam Hayward, baby.
He's not even listed on here. I was looking for his odds. He's got it's at least plus 25.
I don't care. He doesn't get enough love. 35 years old. He has 8 sacks.
That's crazy.
He probably has double-digit pass deflections. He's got probably double-digit tackles for a loss. Quarterback hurries, quarterback pressures. He's just been playing lights out. My man got a concussion last night, cleared protocol, and came back in and said, "I'm still playing, damn it." Come on.
Yeah, man. He is.
That's all effort on him. He has to be he has to beat the blocker. He has to beat double teams. He's got to push through 600 pounds of meat sometimes to get to the quarterback. And he's doing it.
Meat.
Cam, I love you. I'll buy your jersey next year.
Defensive player of the year for me. I'm kind of torn on this one. Obviously the Myles Garrett stats are there, but just like he was not able to take over games as much as I would have liked him to see. I kind of called him a chance to actually win MVP this season. They did not, but he leads pretty much like every category in defensive stats, and he has a better stat record than he did last year when he won Defensive Player of the Year. But I got to give it to somebody that's in the playoffs. I'm going to go with Andrew Van Ginkel from the Minnesota Vikings. The man went on an absolute tear this season. Really turned that defense around. That was kind of middle of the road last season. He's at plus 3,500 right now. He's the 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth best odds to win the Defensive Player of the Year, but he's my Defensive Player of the Year.
Probably depends on how far they go in the playoffs.
And that's what I hate. They need to give this award out like before middle of the week before the wild card starts. I know they do the all pros. They do the all pros then in that, and the Pro Bowl voting and all that, but they don't do the award until after the season's over, which I don't like. This is for the regular season. NFL Rookie of the Year. Now I grouped this in one category, offense and defense, because it's pretty much unanimous. Jared Verse for the Rams, the defensive lineman, is going to win Defensive Rookie of the Year, which is fine. I couldn't even really tell you who were some other candidates in that. I do apologize for not knowing that off the top of my head. So I kind of just grouped them in the one category. Who do you have for Offensive Rookie of the Year?
Jaden Daniels.
Absolutely.
That's just a shoo-in right there. I know Brock Bowers or whatever. By the way,
yeah,
if you ever want to get out of the NFL, bro, you already have the porno name. Just letting you know. Like if that's not a porn star name I'd never heard of. Like,
Yeah, he'd probably be 2 for me, and then Bo Nix would probably be 3 for me.
yeah.
But I wanted to look
Yeah,
at.
better win that one.
Let me see what the odds are.
And yeah, the dude from the Rams is absolutely playing lights out for a rookie.
Oh,
yeah,
and this is exactly the 4 that I would have. So that Jaden Daniels 1, Brock Bowers 2nd favorite, Bo Nix 3rd favorite, Brian Thomas Jr. the 4th favorite. He had a great season too, man.
Have a good year. He was a hell of a player for me on fantasy football. I can tell you that.
Yeah, FanDuel minus 20,000. So you have to bet $20,000 to win $100 for Jaden Daniels to win Offensive Rookie of the Year.
That's so stupid.
You got 20K, Marley.
Yeah, let me throw that on FanDuel real quick. Hold on.
Be right back.
Add wallet. 20K. Let's get 20,100. That's so stupid, dude. Why would you even bet that? And like, imagine there's people that are betting that.
Oh yeah.
You're spending.
Yep.
You're spending 20K to win $100.
20K just to win $100.
What is the sense? Like, your money's not really making you money at that. Like, don't get me wrong. Yes, now you have another. But if you got $20,000 to burn on FanDuel, I'm pretty sure $100 isn't a whole lot of money to you. Like, that's like $1 bill to us. You know, like you call $100 bill, like y'all probably call 20s change, huh? Yeah. You got any change? No, I got 20s. Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah. Like what?
First world problems.
Yeah, right.
Most valuable player, Marley.
MVP.
Mm-hmm.
Damn it, man.
Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Saquon Barkley, Joe Burrow, Jared Goff.
I'd like to see like I like to see Saquon Barkley get it, but they're not going to do it because it's a fucking running back.
Plus 7,500.
Like, but I am going to give him my vote because I do want to see a running back get a vote for Player of the Year, for MVP. I mean, I know Lamar and Josh Allen and them have been playing great, but like I said, at the end of the day, and yes, I know, the running back needs a line to run through, but that's only for the first 4 yards, and then he's got to do the rest of it on his own.
We looked that up. Adrian Peterson was the last running back to win MVP. Of
course, and he had a lights-out season that year, and that's where I'm at. Like, yeah, don't get me wrong. Like, Lamar's got great stats, and so does Josh Allen, but these guys got to catch the damn ball, and I don't understand why they get the yards after that dude catches it. Like, okay, you throw a 5-yard pass, he runs for 95 yards. You get all those yards. I don't like that. I don't like that.
Not to mention, like, Jalen Hurts took like 16 touchdowns from Saquon Barkley by the tush push.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, with the tush push bullshit. and that's exactly. You let Saquon get all those touchdown plays on the 1-yard line, and where's he sitting at? You know, probably over 40 some touchdowns. I bet
at least 30,
which is insanity for a running back.
Oh yeah. Good call. Good take, Marley. Good take. Yeah. Josh Allen's a favorite, minus 470. I'm going with Lamar Jackson, plus 320. And I just think Lamar's playing on a whole nother level, and that guy's not turning the ball over. He is hanging on to the ball, and I'm kind of impressed by that. Saquon would be my 2. Josh Allen's right there for me in my top 3. Make a solid case for Jared Goff too. Absolutely lights out. One of the most underrated players in the NFL. One of the best trades probably in history. We've discussed this in the past. Like that Stafford Goff trade was a dub for both teams, I think. But
for sure. I think the Lions got out on the better end of that one though.
Well, Stafford got the Super Bowl, and we know it's not just because of him, and we also know that the reason why the Lions haven't gone is not just because of Jared Goff either. So I want to see Goff get one to solidify that as well. So. All right, give me a regular team or a playoff team, surprise team that was good. Now, I'll have to say, Marley, you're going to probably have to leave the Commanders out because you're not surprised that they made the playoffs. So, like, just give me a team that you were surprised that had a good season.
The Broncos. Yeah. Like, they're better, but they're better than I thought they'd be. Like, I knew Bo Nix would have a decent season, but I was surprised to see him make the playoffs in that division.
Good take.
And not to mention just the playoffs in the AFC in general, because like we talked about, it's a soundbite for me. It's hard to make the playoffs in the AFC without winning your division, and they won enough games to eke by. You know, a couple like look at the Bengals; they were pushing through. You know, they had a lot going against them, and they still made it out, and still they got to play today. And now they got to go up against a solid Bills team, so we'll see. But they're my biggest shocker because I didn't think they'd do anything.
This was going to be a shoe, and mine's the Vikings. But I'm right there with you. Like I know I said the Broncos would be good, so I wasn't really surprised. I was kind of surprised that they made the playoffs, the Broncos, but I wasn't surprised that they ended up being a better team than I thought. Yeah, mine's the Vikings.
Yeah, that's a good call. Like you figure their quarterback situation was kind of iffy up there, and they turned it around completely.
Surprise team to you that ended up bad, Marley.
The Jets.
No, like, did you? Well, you thought the Jets were going to do good, didn't you, this year? Yeah.
Yeah, because like I figured, okay, Aaron Rodgers coming back, rested. He's got a better. Like he was actually like talking like we're going to be good. You know, they got what's his name? They got Devontae Adams over there, but it just didn't pan out for them.
Matter of fact, on the Peace of Mind Sports website, if anybody likes to check that out, we like to do blogs once in a while on there. You had. Let me go to the AFC East. Had the Jets over 9.5 wins and making the playoffs.
Yeah. Because it was going to be them and the Bills from that division making the playoffs.
Yep, you had Jets 1, Dolphins 2, Bills 3, Patriots 4.
Yeah, I called the Bills to be shit on this year.
Yeah, the whole show got rickrolled for that. Happens, man. Can't get them all right.
Yep.
But yeah, for the record, I will always remind you this. So, like, I know you, you were absolutely thrilled to make this prediction that the Commanders would make the playoffs. What'd you win for
bet
it?
money on that one, buddy? That'd have been a good one.
Still a nice prediction. So yeah, the Jets. Good take. Now, I'm gonna pull up the website again because I was kind of torn on this, and I just want to go back and I want to make sure I got my prediction where it was. So a team that ended up being a surprise that was bad. Jaguars for me.
Yeah.
That's the team I was thinking of. A team where they were carrying momentum. They had a playoff victory over the Chargers a couple years ago. Then they just crapped the bed, man. And now
Dunk it up.
Now they're looking for everything again. They just, I don't know. I kind of have a thing against like fans that get to swim in a swimming pool at a football stadium. Like, stop. It's gross.
It's kind of gross.
You want a pool at Heinz Field, Marley?
No, I don't. It'd only be a pool during preseason. After that, it's an ice skating rink. So yeah.
Yeah, you get the pool for like a month. The preseason games in August.
Yeah, August preseason. That's like September. Maybe you'll get the pool,
yes,
and
man.
then after that, it's ice skating rink. Freaking cold out.
It's time to talk about the games. Starting with Texans and Chargers. Man, leading up to this game, I'm like, Chargers -3, Chargers -3. We were automatically picking the Chargers. And then by the time the day of the game yesterday, just between scrolling on Twitter, looking at other sources and things of seeing all these Chargers props and bets and all this stuff, I'm like, man, I think the Texans might get one. And they did.
Yeah.
32-12, they beat the Chargers at home. They go on to the divisional round.
They absolutely shit on them.
Yeah, the defense showed up.
Yeah, the special team showed up, the defense showed up, and the offense showed up. They all just clicked all of a sudden. It just like literally like one play when Stroud broke the pocket and went out to the right and then threw across his body into the middle. I think it was to Collins, and that was the play that turned that whole game around for them. And then after that, it was just like pedal to the floor, we're going. And it was the thing that really probably broke the Chargers back was when then they scored
Yeah,
and they
McConkey scored.
blocked the extra point and ran that shit back for 2.
Yep, that'll do it. Talk about
Yeah, so
demoralizing.
that'll demoralize you. Yeah. And then the Texans just came out and they put the ball in CJ Stroud's hand and said, "Go win this game, kid," because they were not running that ball at all.
Yeah.
They might have run Mixon a few times towards the end of the game, and he was breaking big runs. You could tell he wanted the ball, but they just literally said, "Come on, Rook, come on, kid. You ain't been playing that well in the last part of the season here, so we got to get you under. We got to get your confidence back up." And I think now you might want to watch out for the Texans in the playoffs.
Yeah, especially if their defense plays it the way they are, and now they're starting to get hot at the right time, and it's the playoffs. Like, winner go home, baby.
Yeah, and they turned it. They got to Herbert a good bit. If not, they just shut down their receivers. It was just an all around good game. And then I don't know, man. That Houston offense just looked a little spectacular last night. Even though they're missing Tank Dell and whoever the other guy, I forget who the other dude is, but they're still making plays. See, Deontay Johnson had a catch.
Oh, goodness. On to your game.
Oh,
Marley,
God.
Steelers at the Ravens. 28-14, Ravens win, ending the Pittsburgh Steelers season. You called it. I mean, it was just, that's the way she goes, huh?
Yep. Like a Tomlinism goes. Where we were definitely not up to snuff again this week. Don't get me wrong. We tried. We gave it an effort. We had a couple big plays where we scored we got 2 touchdowns out of it.
Yeah, Pickens
but then
had a game, a little bit of
out
a game.
Lets him run the damn ball into the end zone after that. And it's just like even the announcers were saying it on the broadcast last night. Like, as much as I hate Curb Street, he was right. We had no fight in us last night. We were literally walking around.
Oh, I seen the body language. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It was just like they're just out there nonchalantly, just playing the damn game. Like, just like it looked like the whole damn team was just there so they don't get fined.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and except for Cam, and Warren put up a good fight, and Freiermuth come out and did what he could do. And, don't get me wrong, like, we tried, but damn it, man. At the end of the day, like, come on. Like, I don't know, man. It's going to be an interesting offseason for us now.
Yeah.
And I already knew coming into this game, like, the way we played them the last time, the Ravens they're the best team in the playoffs right now. Like, I want to see what they do against a better team than us. And, like, I get it. We play them all the time. And we did keep the score down in the first quarter to 7-0. And then, just dumb shit starts to happen. Like, I don't know. I'd rather not make the playoffs than watch this shit happen to us. Like, we got blown out last night. We didn't even just lose the game by, like, a touchdown or a field goal.
Yeah. Yep,
we just got blown out.
Ravens did cover.
Absolutely they did. And I think this is the biggest underdog we've ever been going into a playoff game.
Oh, it has to be. That I'm actually might have to look that up after the show. Like that.
To be down by double digits in the score before the game. Come on, bro.
Yeah,
we ain't never been down that bad.
It opened at 8.5, and it closed at 9.5 by the time the game started.
Yeah, so they knew they were going to beat us by at least a touchdown and a field goal.
Smitty,
so they already knew they were going to run away with this.
Smitty, I think you got that backwards. He says Pitt has a good offense, just a mid defense, in my opinion. Well, for one, the defense has been playing mid with injuries. I'm not making excuses for the Steelers. I just think that Marley was telling me over the weeks and actually leading up to this down the stretch in December, like their secondary is depleted. They had no help on the defense side, and the offense wasn't doing them any favors. Like, just the way that the game was going. And I just a side note, like real quick, I made a single bet for the first drive for the Steelers, first play of the game. You get 4 choices: run the ball for 0 yards or less, run the ball for 1+ yard, incomplete pass, or completed pass. They were all plus money. I chose run the ball for 1+ yard for like plus 110. It was the best odds out of all of them. What did they do? They came out, he threw an incomplete pass to Freiermuth.
Yep.
You got to get that run game going, brother. And then from then, I'm like, okay, they're coming out. They're going to try and outscore the Ravens. They're going to try and play a game like they did against the Bengals, because they knew that they were going to have to come out and probably put up 28 points to have a chance in this game. And that's because of the defense. So I know it's just your opinion, Smitty. I'm just saying, like, for the record, like over the season of kind of hearing, through Marley about how the Steelers season has been going, like the defense kind of been letting them down too. I know the offense, like I said, hasn't been doing them any favors. So like you can make a case for both, but I'd say the defense was.
And that like our defense became mid because our offense was going 3 and out constantly. The defense gets off the field after a long, sustained 10-play drive. And that's the other thing. It wasn't like those teams are coming out and scoring on us in 1 or 2 plays and calling it, defense goes off the field and back out comes a fully rested offense.
Right.
It's the offense is out there for 7 minutes, or the defense is out there for 7 fucking minutes. Offense comes out for sometimes our offense was on the field for a total of 30 seconds.
Yep. Enough,
30 seconds.
Enough. They're coming off. Defense comes off the field.
Like a minute and a half. What's up?
Defense comes off the field, takes the helmet off, takes a sip of water, sits down, gets the notepad, reads one play, puts the helmet back on, is back on the field. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. Like they're not even, they're still trying to catch their breath from the last series.
Yep.
And now they got to go right back out there, and you expect them to make plays. Yeah, some of them can, but I mean, you got 11 guys out there that they're all gassed, and like you wonder why we're swapping. Like people are like, well, why ain't TJ in? He's been in every freaking snap, and they've been out there for 30 minutes. Yeah. Like, and it's only been a 40-minute game. What do you want out of these guys? Like, come on. Like, endurance just creeps down after a while. And like, yeah, like that month that we were like, even when the offense was doing good, the defense, they were just gassed. And I can't hate on them for that because it was literally boiled down to 3 and out, 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 3 and out. And that's just not substantial. Like, we couldn't even get a first down. And it's the playoffs. It's 4th and inches, and we fucking punt. Like, are you fucking serious right now?
I mean, like, it's just the truth, bro. Like,
your defense just went out and stopped these guys. They're tired. They need to gain back. They need to see what they did the last series to come back out here. The only game we played well was the last game against the Bengals. That was the only time our defense showed up, and we still lost.
Yeah.
Why? 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. Can't do shit. Put Fields in. They leave him in for one down, one not even a down, just a down. But yet, Russ can't do shit.
Moving on, Marley. Moving on. We get to today's games, starting on the early slate, the 1:00 game. 10-7 Broncos, the 7th seed in Buffalo, taking on the 13-4 Buffalo Bills, the 2nd seed. Buffalo is, what are they? They are 8-0 at home. Marley.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I get it. The Broncos have been playing good, but you got the Bills at home. That place is going to be, you could probably feel that stadium shaking a block away through the snow. It's just, that place is going to be lit. And then, I don't know. Just good luck tonight, guys. It's like you're gonna go out there and just eek.
Yeah, you think this is gonna be like a
it's gonna be a beating,
like a 42-10 game.
42-20.
Wow.
I know the Broncos can put up points, but I think the Bills are gonna run away with this real early.
If they go up like early, it's gonna be ugly. Like the Broncos have to come out and they can't like go 3 and outs. They can't, they got to score touchdowns.
Yeah, they got like if they don't score touchdowns, they at least got to put up points on every single drive. Because even if they eke by with a couple field goals, if they can make a stop or two, that might be able to be the edge on them enough. But this game is literally going to come down to to who has that ball
Yeah.
the most. And it's going to be the Bills because they're going to put together drives. I don't think that the Broncos offense they're going to have a hell of a time against that Bills defense today because they're going to come out with their ears pinned back because they know damn well they're going to have to go one dimensional after a while. They're going to depend on Bo Nix to win this game because think about it. If you go up to 20, even if the Bills go up by 2 touchdowns, yeah, you can run the ball sporadically to keep them a little honest on the defensive side of the ball. At the end of the day, you damn well know you got to throw it. So that Bills defense is going to be like, yeah, this is where we get to eat now, boys. And I think they're doing pretty well on the turnover differential as well. So yeah, I can see this is going to be a tough one, but give me the Bills.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Bills. I think it's gonna be a closer game. The line opened at 8. It's down to 7.5. I think some people are starting to pull a bit of money on the Broncos to cover, but that could also be a backdoor cover. Like they score a late touchdown with like a minute to go, down like 14 or something. Like,
there's some prevent defense.
I think the Bills are gonna win, Marley. I think the Bills are gonna win. Yeah. Moving on. Should be a better game. The 7 seed Packers, because they lost to the Bears in the final week of the season, they got bumped back to the 7 seed. Tough slate. They have the Eagles, 2nd seed. Eagles, 4:00 game. Eagles favorite 3.5, over under 45.5. Should be a good one. They met the opening week in Brazil.
I'm going with the Eagles here. I don't know about I know Jordan Love's elbow was a little dinged up, so I don't know how well that's gonna. I know he's cleared to play, but that's not good.
Jalen Hurts coming off the concussion protocol.
They lost their other receiver, yeah. So I don't know. I know Jalen Hurts got hurt too.
Yeah, should be a good game though.
Yeah, that should be a fun one to watch. But I'm gonna go with the Eagles just because.
Sorry, Max. Give me the Eagles as well.
Yeah.
Tough draw. If the Packers got like the Rams or something, like I think that would have been a better draw for them. They're gonna play one of the hottest teams in the NFL. The Packers secondary also depleted like the Steelers. I don't have players with like season-ending injuries and stuff. Like the Packers have the offense to kind of do it. They could control the game a little bit with the run. Josh Jacobs running wild. He's doing good in the pass game too. But I just don't think they have enough to overcome the Eagles. The Eagles are going to play Swiss Army knife today, man. They're going to come out. They're going to run the ball. They're going to control the clock. They're gonna do a lot of things to throw off the Packers, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sunday Night Football, probably the game of the week so far for the playoffs, in my opinion. The 6 seed Commanders travel to Tampa Bay to take on the 3 seed Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Baker Mayfield and co.
Oh, Jaden Daniels and the Commanders, baby. They're playing tough enough. I know Baker's been there, he's done it, but I don't know. I think Jaden Daniels and that team just gonna come out and say, nope, it's our season to come out and prove something.
It's gonna come down. I think the X factor in this game is gonna come down to the Buccaneers defense. The Buccaneers defense struggled the past few weeks in the regular season. They played. They didn't play a very good defense against the Saints. And I know the Saints put up 19. That was a closer game than it actually looked. They held the Panthers, I guess, who've been kind of riding hot. That game against the Cowboys on Sunday night was kind of telling. I know it was a road game, but Cooper Rush and them boys came out and put up 26 points. They couldn't stop the Cowboys that game. I think that's going to be kind of a similar model to that game. Because their other wins, they smoked the Chargers. They beat the Raiders, Panthers, Giants, but then they lost to the 49ers, Chiefs, and Falcons. Ravens, they got smoked. Like, they lost both games against the Falcons, good defense. They did beat the Eagles early in the season. That was impressive, I guess. They beat the Lions, too, one of the only losses the Lions had. But, like, they got Jaden Daniels and the Commanders in week 1. So this is a rematch from week 1. It was the first game of the season for Daniels. And that was kind of like the turning point for the Commanders. Like, all right, this is our loss. We got what we have. Let's make adjustments to come out and end up going 12-5. So,
yeah,
I like the Commanders here. I actually did a solo bet for the Commanders to win this game as well. So, all right, Marley. That wraps up our segment
You
for
got,
the wild card
you got,
week. What else you got for me?
you got a Monday night game.
Do have a Monday night game.
Forgot one game.
I said for today's games.
Oh yeah, okay.
Might as well talk
What,
about
Monday?
today. Might as well talk about today though. Vikings on the road as the 5th seed, taking on the 4th seed Rams, stuck it in the playoffs. That was nice. Did a live bet back in like late November when they were in last place for Rams to win the division. They turned the corner and ended up winning. This game's gonna be played in Glendale, Arizona, due to the fires. That was only right. Like, how can you go out and obviously for the the conditions, like the smoke and the hazardous stuff, but like besides that, like how could they come out and play a game with like I don't want to get into it too much, but just thinking of all the people out there, um, they can't play a football game with all this stuff going on, But
And for one, your emergency services are already stretched thin as could be. See who's going to be in the stadium, and two, who's going to go to the game. They're all worried about their house burning down right now.
Like I ain't worried about this game, right?
I'm kind of curious to see the crowd size today, honestly, or tomorrow night, like to see what it looks like in there. Being that it's in Arizona, it's like, are they all going to travel out? Because it's not far for either of them. The only one it's far from is the Vikings, which they weren't all going to be there anyway. So I don't know. You might see some like Arizona Viking fans there.
Yeah, I would think so. But also speaking of that, shout out to the Cardinals organization for providing a team plane and accommodations for the Rams and the Vikings to be able to get out there. They flew the Arizona team plane out to the Rams to go get the players. I thought that was really cool.
Oh, really?
I think that's great. Yeah, great for the.
But they didn't do that for the Vikings.
I don't know, but it was just a nice. It was a nice gesture that they did it for the Rams. Come on, I was trying to have a nice, friendly take here, and you go and say that shit. They're providing a stadium for the Vikings to play in. They're not the ones that are on fire. Well,
on a serious note, though, if you are out there and you're watching this, leave. Quit trying to put your house out with a garden hose. It ain't working. Okay.
Seriously.
I see the videos of people like, I'm not going anywhere, and they're out there with a garden hose trying to wet the roof, and I'm just like,
well, it's better than nothing, but yeah, I know.
Your house is surrounded by an inferno. Okay, that's like, it's one thing, everybody, if it's snow, if it's water, you might actually be okay. Snow especially, like, okay, it's just going to snow and now it's just got to melt. Flooding is a whole nother story. If it's washing things away, that's a bit of a problem there. But fire's a little different. You might not want to hang out and say it'll be okay. Like, what are you going to end up in your swimming pool like a chicken?
Well, they said the wind was blowing so hard there too. Like they were trying to fly in helicopters, like getting buckets of water from the ocean, and the water was just blowing out of the buckets because the wind was blowing so hard. Like that's wild.
Yeah, and that's where I'm at. Like, the wind's pushing all this stuff.
Yep.
So if you're in the path, please leave. Please leave. Nothing's worth your life. Like, please leave. We don't want to. We already have to watch this stuff happen. Like, thankfully, none of us live out there, but that's why I never moved to California. Wildfires, mudslides, and earthquakes. This doesn't sound like a good place to live.
And expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Vikings get the draw in the 5th seed. They had a chance to get the number 1 seed, but they lost to the Lions, so they fall back to the 5th seed. Vikings, Rams, Monday Night Football. A team that's played well through the season. We said, can they show up in the playoffs? On one side for the Vikings, on the other side, the Rams getting hot late when it counts. Should be a good one.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go with the Rams on this one.
Wow.
I think just the Vikings, like, I don't know, after last week, I think that everybody got a book on them now, how to get after Sam Darnold. And I don't know if that broke him a little bit last week because he didn't look happy on the field. But I don't know. And then Stafford, he's like, I got a chance to win one more at least before I go out, probably. And they're just playing well right now. They've turned it around, like you said. So, yeah, I'm going to take the Rams.
I'm going to say, if I think that this game goes the way I think it is, the over-under is 47.5, right? Like, I like that. I like the under, actually. The under is actually not favored. It's minus 105. You could pretty much get even money for that game. I like the under because I know that I think overall, like if you're looking at the big picture, I think the Vikings have a better defense than the Rams. I think the Vikings have a little bit more weapons than the Rams do. But I think overall the Rams are just a little bit more of a more of an experienced team in the playoffs. From the head coach, I'd take Stafford over Darnold, even though Darnold's having a great season. The Rams are just the numbers just check out a little bit better for me for the Rams, but I'm gonna take the Minnesota Vikings.
Oh,
In a close game. I was back and forth on this game all week, and I woke up and I said I like the Vikings today.
yeah, it's not going to be a blowout by any means by either team. It's going to be a one-score game. Yeah, it's just going to be an offensive play all day. I'm happy we have Monday Night Football though.
Yeah, wildcard week always has a Monday night game.
Yeah, I'm really missing the Thursday night game. I enjoyed our
yeah, that's why we don't bitch too much about it, because we say we don't care if it's the Giants and Panthers playing on Thursday night. We just want to watch some ball, because every week Marley and I would join in the Discord. We watched the Amazon Prime game every Thursday night, and it was a good time. So look to do that again next season.
We had to watch some garbage can games, but boy, we enjoyed the football. Cause now it's winding down. Now we only got 3 days out of the week, and now after this week, it's going to be down to 2, right. And then it's going to be down to 1, and then we got 2 weeks till the Super Bowl. Ugh.
It's getting near, but we're going to enjoy these games first, Marley.
Indeed.
Before we wrap up the show, I'd like to explain to everybody, if those of you that don't know, we also have Peace of Mind Sports Podcast on Spotify. We upload the videos weekly, so you can watch them there. You can also watch back on YouTube now that we have a YouTube. And we appreciate everybody hanging out with us today. Marley, do you have one bet that you like today that you can think of? I do have a couple. I like the Commanders money line straight up.
Saquon Barkley anytime touchdown.
All right, let's head over to FanDuel. I'm gonna check that out. It's gonna be minus money, but I like in the playoffs. They kind of lowered. They give you a little bit better odds in the playoffs, which is what I like. But Saquon Barkley anytime touchdown is minus 165, which is probably one of the best odds that he's going to have all year. So that's good. If you like Saquon Barkley, minus 165, that's good. All right.
Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, sounds good. I tend to stay away from props in the playoffs, besides touchdowns. Hit a good touchdown bet yesterday, no, Marley? Seen that?
Yeah, I seen that. You didn't have one Steeler on there, but of course you had a Raven and 2 Chargers.
Well, because I was I was back and forth potentially picking a Steelers player, but I knew their offense wasn't playing that well, so I didn't know if I figured they'd be good for a touchdown or two. I just didn't know who'd score.
Yeah,
it ended up, being Pickens showing up. I've been staying away from him the past couple of weeks, so I wasn't gonna bet him.
Yeah, I forget who got the other one. I think it was Austin. Yeah.
Yeah, so we ended up Ladd McConkey. Who I sweat that bet out, because I was at the tables, and like last I checked, like their offense wasn't doing anything, and then I saw they ended up scoring again, and I'm like, who scored? And I saw it was him. He had a long touchdown, so that was nice. Nico Collins scored early in the game, which I was back and forth on him on too, because I was like, he hasn't been really playing that well, but I think he'd be good for one.
Well, he's getting doubled every damn week.
And then Rashad Bateman ended up getting the first touchdown in the game, so plus 1150 on that bet, so I turned $2 in the 25.01.
Not bad.
So bet there.
Not bad.
Wraps up our show for today. Let's all enjoy the games, have some fun, bet responsibly, stay warm. Yeah.
Wow.
A couple more months.
It's so cold out, dude. I'm sitting here. I'm like, okay, now, like, what am I gonna do with the rest of my day? Like, yeah, I know there's football on, but like, as much as I enjoy it, I'm just really not one for. It's meaningless to me. I don't have a team to pull for now, and I'm not ever one to root for another set of colors in my life.
You're not going to root for another team, but do you have a early? I mean, we're not going to do Super Bowl predictions. We don't, but like who's like a team
It's
you're
going to be
look out
Lions
for?
and Ravens.
Lions and Ravens. Okay.
It's Lions and Ravens.
That's
The Lions are going to come out like the way their defense played. If they play that way and then the offense keeps going the way they are, they'll be just fine. And I don't think anybody else can beat them at that point from the NFC. And if the AFC, okay, yeah, can anybody defend? Yeah, okay.
Gotcha.
I love to see it happen.
Right,
but no, it's like what, a whopping 22 degrees out today. It's slightly snowing here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I really want to go to the gym.
I get it.
It's so cold out. But good show on first time on YouTube. Love it. Hope we get you guys in here.
Yeah.
Hope to see you guys next week for the show.
Tell your friends. We love to talk football, man. So this is the time to do it. This is the time of year, and we'll do our best to accommodate all the guests that come in. Smitty, thank you for hanging out as always. Hope everybody has a wonderful day.
Subscribe, like, and comment.
Please. Peace out, sports fans. We'll talk to you later.